Hello guys, it's your girl Precious Buba, and I'm super happy to be here with you. I'm here to share the top 10 tips on how you can practice for the digital SAT. So kindly join me while I walk you through on the top 10 tips. Come on. Here we have the top 10 test taking tips for the digital SAT. So if you're planning to take the digital SAT, you might be seeing messages from test prep companies and other promising to reveal the secrets to get a good score. So we have a good news here, and as we are going to consider the top 10 test taking tips for the digital SAT, I do implore you to pay a close attention to the explanations. So number one, we have pace yourself. So the test has a built-in timer which you can show or hide based on your preference if you decide to show your timer. And then on the reading and writing session, you have about 1 minute and 11 seconds per question. And on the math session, you have about 1 minute and 35 seconds per question. So after about 10 minutes, you should have completed around 8 to 9 reading and writing questions or 6 to 7 math questions. So this doesn't really mean that every question will take the same amount of time, and questions can also get more difficult as you go through the test. So if you find yourself spending too much time on the question, you should use the mark for review tool and go back to it at the end. So this is basically telling you to manage your time. You need to know how you answer your questions, need the time allotted to each question. So the second tip we have here is to leave yourself a note. In the reading and writing session, we have short passages with just one question per passage. So as you're reading the passage, you can use the annotation tool to highlight parts of the text and leave a note to yourself to help you answer the question. So you should leave yourself a note. If you come across any key word or a key sentence, you can actually use the annotation tool to kind of highlight it so that you can always refer back to it. So the third tip here is that you shouldn't rely on answer choice probability or patterns. Do not rely on answer choice probability or patterns. Any question could have the answer A, B, C, or D. As you know, on the SAT we have choices of A, B, C, or D. So you may have 10 A's in a row or no A's at all in any set of question answers. So you have to use the option eliminator tool to cross off options that you know are wrong to narrow down to the best choice. Now let me throw more light on this. You can actually use the elimination method in the sense that when you look at your choices, you can actually tell yourself, okay, choice A is not even related to the question, or choice D is not related to the question, and then you are left with choice B and C. So you can use your eliminator tool to cross off choice A and choice D so that you have a better chance of getting the accurate answer. All right, so the fourth tip we have here is don't leave questions blank. As your time is running out, make sure to go back to any question that you skipped or marked for review. There is no penalty for guessing, so it can only help you to choose any answer. Make sure you answer all questions. There is no penalty. You are not going to be penalized for giving a wrong answer. So you make sure you answer all questions. Then for the tip 5, you have to feel free to move around within each model. Once you start a model, the questions are set and won't change based on your answers to previous questions. So you have to, move around the pages, move around the different comprehension passage or different questions. You can move from section 1 to section 2. You can move from, theory 1 to theory 2, depending. So you are not restricted to being on the same page for a long time. So the tip 6, you have to do your best. Don't spend time trying to figure out if a question is easy. Don't categorize the questions if they are easy, medium, or hard. Just try your best to give the accurate answer. Then tip 7, you need to learn how to use the built-in Desmos graphing calculator. There's an approved calculator inside the the exam app, which is the Blue Book. So you need to learn how to use it and take time to understand what information is included on the reference sheets in math. Then if you do prefer to bring your own approved calculator, you have to practice with it ahead of time before coming to the exam center. Then for the tip 8, you have to take a full length practice test in the Blue Book. If you do not have the Blue Book app, you need to download it to your laptop. It's only compatible or downloadable in laptops or notebooks. So you need to make sure you download the Blue Book app so that you can take a full length practice test. You can get used to the timing of the test. It will help you to time yourself and practice with accommodations if you have them on the test day. Then the tip 9, you need to focus your practice where you need it the most. Once you take the full length practice test, use the same login information to go to mypractice.collegeboard.org. You'll be able to review every question, including an explanation of the correct answer. Then you can review those same questions using official digital ACT Prep on Khan Academy and get detailed lessons so that you can improve on your testing. You can also use the Skills Insight tool for more practice questions based on the type of question you need to practice and the score range you're aiming for. All right, so for the 10th tip, the last but not the least, before going to the test center, you need to get a good night's sleep the night before, eat a good breakfast, and try your best. One last thing, if you took the digital PSAT or NMSQT or the PSAT 8/9, then you already know what to expect. As a fresher, get familiar with what's staying the same and what's changing with the digital SAT. You know, the previous SAT, it was actually pen, pencil, and paper, but now it's a digitalized SAT test. So there must have been some changes. You need to get conversant with the changes that have been made towards the digital SAT, so that you don't get lost because you're using your laptop to take this test right now and not the usual pen and paper that we usually take the SAT with. Yes, that is that for the top 10 test taking tips for the digital SAT. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the like button, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on my WhatsApp, or you can always drop your comments here in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys soon. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much.